This is ABC7 News at 6. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. We start tonight with a local couple behind bars and facing felony charges for child neglect.
Sarasota police arrested the couple after their 2-month-old baby girl was brought to the hospital with suspicious injuries. ABC7's Adam Cellini joins us live outside Sarasota Memorial Hospital with more on the charges this couple is facing tonight. Adam?
Yeah, Scott and Jacqueline, good evening. According to police, that couple brought the baby girl here because she hadn't been eating for 3 days and was running a fever. Now, eventually, that child had to be airlifted to All Children's Hospital in St. Pete, suffering from injuries that a pediatrician told investigators someone had to participate in causing. Local residents, 28-year-old Magdalena Perez Lopez and 27-year-old Martin Gomez, are now behind bars, each facing $100,000 bond for child neglect felony charges. The injuries to the child included numerous body fractures, and although police couldn't specify much more, they said whether or not the child would survive was not immediately clear.
Fortunately for her, they did not. She's still getting treatment and still on the mend, but they were severe enough that we felt like we needed to take her away from her parents and also charge the parents with a felony crime.
Now, according to the report, this couple, primarily Magdalena, takes care of even more children at home. The Department of Children and Families has gotten involved and removed this child, as far as we know, from the couple's care. And we are still trying to find out if this is a first-time offense in the eyes of the Department of Children and Families for this couple. We'll have more on this coming up later tonight. For now, live in Sarasota, I'm Adam Cellini. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, thank you so much, Adam. One day a year, the Suncoast Partnership to End Homelessness does a count. Workers and volunteers pound the pavement collecting data on the number of homeless people on the street, in shelters, and transitional housing. They also administer a point-in-time survey. Results of that survey are used to track trends in the homeless population throughout a 2-county area. According to the CEO of the Suncoast Partnership to End Homelessness, Edward DeMarco, it will be 2018's homeless census, which is part of an initiative by the Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD.
Those numbers are compiled and provided to HUD, and those numbers become part of our funding and become part of the attention that's given to our community for this purpose of helping the homeless.
Also on the homelessness front, the Quality of Life Ordinance will take effect in a month and a half, so county commissioners will consider a budget for funding of this ordinance enforcement in Tuesday morning's commission meeting.
Changes could be on the way for Venice's Wellfield Park. Sarasota County and City of Venice staff are currently working out a new agreement between the two governments to determine which government is going to own and maintain the park. Sarasota County sent Venice a letter saying the current agreement will be canceled as of October 1st. Some worried that meant the park would be closed. For now, city officials say they do not have the money to fund all of the sports fields and need help from Sarasota County.
The dispute is, whose ideas are we implementing? I mean, if it's going to be owned by the county but we're implementing the city's ideas, there's a conflict waiting to happen.
Once the staffs come to an agreement, county commissioners and Venice City Council members will have to vote to approve or deny it.
Well, it was pretty overcast this morning, a little chillier throughout the rest of the day than we're normally used to. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
First alert weather day yesterday and overnight, too, with that heavy rainfall. Still some advisories are flying, mainly for coastal folks. Again, the rip current advisory. On top of that, a small craft advisory. You can see starting to clear there right at the end of this particular video from Anna Maria webcam showing the composite of what was going on today. In the bay and protected waters, not too bad, but boy, once you get out of it, it's tough going out there. Seas running 4 to 6 feet right now, and that is causing choppy conditions. Temperature right now 60. Dew point is at 56. The pressure is starting to rise, 30.02 inches. Those winds out of the northwest, yeah, it makes it feel a lot colder out there. I'm sure people are reporting that as they get ready to go out to eat, and that west to northwest wind is now changed to northwest, and it's anywhere from 10 to 15 now. It's coming down just a little bit, but it'll stay rather brisk through the night, and that means wind chills late tonight and tomorrow morning will be into the 40s, low 40s, I think, to start things off on Tuesday, and that cool air will stick around for a while. We'll have the latest on that and when our next rain chances will be coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Bob. A local special election to fill a state house seat in the legislature is costing taxpayers over $250,000, and the winner of that race will only serve a 9-month term.
ABC7's Ray Collins has a closer look at the cost and the 3 candidates.
A lot of attention is going into a race for a term that lasts only about 9 more months.
So once a person's elected on February 13th, if they choose to run for re-election, they will be turning right around and doing that process again, because this seat will be back on the ballot again later in 2018.
Alex Miller resigned 6 months into her 2-year term, and this special election's not cheap either.
We estimated $350,000.
So you have 3 candidates all making their first run for political office, all with very different reasons as to why they're running.
Well, Ray, I really want to see libertarian representation in the state house here in Florida.
Well, this is a district I grew up in, so the opportunity to give back is something I so much look forward to.
I want to make sure that I represent the people of Sarasota.
Each candidate also has particular issues they'd like to pursue. Democrat and attorney Margaret Good says she is fed up with government.
For years, they have ignored the will of the people and instead have favored corporations and special interests, and I'm going to change that.
Republican realtor James Buchanan, who is also son of area Congressman Vern Buchanan, says if you like Governor Rick Scott, you'd like him.
Rick Scott's done an amazing job over the last 7 years. There's a lot of work left to do, but if we continue on his program, I think that's the right direction.
Libertarian and marketing company owner Allison Foxall says her biggest issue is government deregulation, and that starts with occupational licenses.
We are the most burdensome state regarding licensing in the entire union. We regulate over 325 businesses and professions.
Foxall and Buchanan are both from this area. Good says she was raised outside the state, but seems reluctant to admit it. Listen. Where are you from? Did you say where you're from?
Well, so my father is a 4th-generation Floridian from Central Florida, just south of Ocala, in a small town called Ocklawaha.
And where were you raised?
I was raised in South Carolina and Georgia.
And Buchanan has his own way of avoiding questions he doesn't like. We asked him why he initially turned down the chance for debates and then changed his mind. Why were you reluctant to get involved with debates at first?
Well, I wanted to spend time in the district one-on-one with the constituents. For me, that's what it's all about.
Buchanan's campaign later issued a statement to us, clarifying his answer, saying the reason he changed his mind about not doing debates, he says, at this point, I think it's important for the voters to understand the differences between my opponents and me. Foxall's answers were straightforward, but she just suffered from some bad timing.
And I look forward to being their next state house representative.
In Sarasota, Ray Collins, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
And just a reminder, the one and only debate for the House District 72 special election will be on ABC7 at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Moderated by Alan Cohn, Libertarian Allison Foxall, Democrat Margaret Good, and Republican James Buchanan will all be here in our studios for an ABC7 exclusive debate. Cohn will be asking the candidates about a number of topics, and you can submit your questions you want asked by sending them to @AlanMCohn on Twitter. Also tomorrow night, President Donald Trump's first State of the Union address will air right here on ABC7. ABC News will have special coverage of the address and as well as the Democratic response to the president's speech. You can catch it all right here tomorrow night starting at 9 o'clock, again, on ABC7.
Certainly a big night for us here at ABC.
Big night for politics.
Yeah.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, Florida State University bringing back Greek life activities, but now members will have to follow strict rules after the death of a pledge.
And how a big donation to Ringling College will help students pursue their dreams in virtual reality.
My name is Giulia. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly one in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Start the year off with big savings during the Start Something New event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Ram trucks, and for a limited time, you can take your new Ram 1500 home for as little as $19,999, or go big and step up to a new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $13,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's West Coast, with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details.
Some Greek life activities are returning to FSU following the death of a fraternity pledge.
This comes nearly 3 months now after the school suspended fraternity and sorority activities. FSU President John Thrasher announcing today portions of that suspension will be lifted to allow for recruitment and philanthropy. But the ban on alcohol is still in effect. Greek life at the school must follow new requirements like maintaining a minimum 2.5 grade point average. Members must also average at least 10 documented service hours per semester, and pledges need to complete an orientation program before recruitment.
I'm counting on our Greek community and their leaders to make sure that they are the champions of this cultural change and to lead by example for the good of our Florida State University family.
Thrasher says the November death of 20-year-old Andrew Coffey from alcohol poisoning at a fraternity hazing event, and then criminal charges being filed this month against 9 members of the Pi Kappa Phi fraternity, have sent a strong message to all students at FSU.
Stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will have a look at your first alert weather forecast for the week ahead when we come back.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC7 and these sponsors.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
You can feel the cooler air blowing in.
It's coming in. It's coming in. Still
bring my
some
jacket.
advisories. Yeah, jackets will be, especially tomorrow morning for the kids going to school. And they're going to probably have to keep them on even during recess because it's going to stay pretty chilly throughout the day tomorrow. It's going to be a winter Florida day by far. I know over the weekend, lots of rainfall, over 3 inches at Tampa, over 1 1/3 inches at the Sarasota Bradenton Airport. I still got my fishing in the morning, though, on Sunday morning.
Really?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be okay throughout the morning, and it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't
there you
bad at
go.
all.
We're going to stay home in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's the afternoon.
That's where it came, yeah.
Exactly. Get a nice book or watch some TV, ABC7 preferably. Anna Maria webcam showing the clouds around today with some low clouds and fog at times. Or just at the end here, just around 5:30 or so, you start to see those clouds clear a little bit. Still around, but nice sunset tonight. And we're expecting the weather headlines to read like this. So cool for a couple of days now. So we will get back into winter pretty quickly, and then a better weekend is ahead. We had one good day Saturday, but we'll see, I think, both days next weekend. And rain moves in, though, Sunday night. So what to watch at the timing now is late Sunday and into Monday morning. That may change, but I doubt it. We'll see satellite and radar imagery showing a couple different things going on right now. Again, the cold front is well to the east of us now. It's way down here, stretching all the way down into South Florida, out here into the Gulf of Mexico. That's the cold front. That's the leading edge of this cooler air, and that's going to be settling in. Now, as a result of this high-pressure ridge located over Oklahoma and Texas right now, this high pressure and the winds rotate around it in a clockwise fashion. So we have the winds going in this direction. That's north-northwest, and we're going to see more northerly tonight, and that will allow that temperature to fall. The coldest morning of this week will be Wednesday morning when the actual temperature will drop down into the low 40s. So the day planner is checking in with just a few clouds throughout the day. Temperatures will warm into the low 60s by 3 o'clock in the afternoon only. That's about 10 degrees below average for this time of year. Now, currently at the airport, it's 61. The dew point is at 56. And that number will continue to drop. Winds are out of the northwest, brisk at 14, and we've had gusts as high as 20 to 25 today. The high was 70. This morning's low was 61. That was this morning's low, but we'll get down below that before midnight. And only 0.08 of an inch of rainfall today, but as I mentioned, we've had 1.32 inches of rain at the Sarasota Bradenton Airport yesterday, and some areas getting 2. Now, temperature forecast across the state, very chilly in the 30s in Pensacola and Tallahassee. We'll get down to 51 here into the upper 40s in inland locations. Lakewood Ranch will be around 49 degrees, 49 in Orlando, and 49 in Daytona Beach. But it will feel much colder than that with that north wind at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. The high tomorrow only into the low to mid 60s across west central Florida. Even down in Naples, temperatures only into the mid 60s there. And then temperature forecast for to start the morning off on Wednesday, 42, near freezing in Gainesville and Tallahassee, and Jacksonville at 35. So again, the hourly forecast is calling for temperatures to stay right around 60 degrees throughout much of the day under partly cloudy skies, but not as cold as Minneapolis or Chicago right now. Kansas City now 29, Toronto it's 23, and that long-range forecast is calling for that deep cold air to get close to us again next week, and it looks like not as cold as a couple of weeks ago, but certainly it will be rather chilly. Here's the 7-day forecast then. Small craft advisory remains in effect. Rip current advisory as well. 63 for a high, again, inland areas, a little bit cooler near the coast. 68 for a high on Wednesday. And then a beautiful day Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just outstanding. A chance of rain comes late Sunday and into early Monday. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. A record-breaking donation to the Ringling College of Art and Design will now allow students to study a new field. A Board of Trustees member donating $15 million to the college, which is the school's first 8-figure gift. Now the school is able to create a department head position for the new virtual reality development major. The school's president says the major will put the college at the leading edge.
We know some engineering schools are working on it in terms of the technology piece, but what you have to have is content for all that. And that's what our major will be all about.
The donation will also go towards funding scholarships as well as current and future programming.
Coming up, we'll take you inside this historic building and tell you what happened in its past.
First out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. Now lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $219 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Carmina Burana in Motion. Carl Orff's choral masterpiece, Carmina Burana, bursts into life in this lavish production designed for 60 voices, 3 celebrated soloists, a 2-piano percussion ensemble, and dynamic premiere choreography performed by members of Sarasota Contemporary Dance. Do not miss this lush feast of the senses. Saturday, February 3rd, 4 p.m. at Church of the Palms in Sarasota. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org or by calling 941-387-4900.
My first job was in sports, and I was so thrilled just to be working in this business. I simply love covering this area. It has been my home for more than 40 years, and now it's wonderful that I can raise my family here as well. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Ever wonder what the Suncoast was like a century ago? Well, most of the homes and buildings from that era are gone now.
But there is one historic building from the 20s still standing strong. ABC7's Linda Carson takes us for a tour in a place we call home.
This building next to the Venice Depot is 90 years old.
It's in excellent condition. It's very nice, and be nice to get the exterior back restored, because people don't realize how neat a building it is because it's kind of hid all behind the siding.
This building was built probably around 1928, adjacent to the train depot. We assume it probably was built for storage of freight and things coming in by train at that time. Probably was one of the last buildings that was built by the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers before they pulled out of the project.
It was going to be a part of the Brotherhood's farming development, reaching from the city of Venice to the Maaca River.
The Brotherhood dug irrigation ditches, and they were doing a lot of the infrastructure to develop that. They put in place a demonstration cattle farm, a dairy farm, poultry farms. They had demonstrations, strawberry patches, celery, cucumbers, watermelon.
They shipped it north by train.
Joseph Lord, one of the early entrepreneurs of this area, back in the early 20s was sending postcards to everybody up north. indicating they were already shipping 80,000 carloads of fruits and vegetables out of this area every season.
And when the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers pulled out of Venice and abandoned the project, big produce companies moved in.
We had a company out of Brooklyn named Manhattan Produce Exchange. They came to this area late in the 30s. They acquired this building behind me in 1939 to use as a depot.
They loaded it all on boxcars here.
The trucks would pull up on the east side of this building, and there are platforms over there, and they would unload the produce and vegetables into the building where they would be sorted and packed and prepared for shipment. And then they would be brought out on hand trucks off this side of the building, the west side, and loaded directly into the rail cars.
During World War II, when the Army Air Force Base was here, the building was used for military supplies.
In later years, the Johnson Lumber Company was located on the property. There was a hardware store and a hardware business located in here. I believe there was a woodworking shop.
Sarasota County bought it in 2000. It's now empty. The future of this 90-year-old building is still up in the air, but a lot of people are hoping that this treasure will be turned into something that all of Venice can be proud of and enjoy. Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Hard to imagine how different this area looked, you know, like 100 years ago.
Right.
It's changed so much.
It has, really, and it changed a lot big time when air conditionings were invented, and then a lot more people started coming down. Yeah. We are looking at not air conditioning, but heaters being used. Looks like over the next couple of nights, as a result of some pretty chilly temperatures moving in. It'll feel like 42 tomorrow with the wind chill, but the actual temperature will be around 52, and then it will be 42 on Wednesday morning. And then we warm up, though, so a nice rest of the week expected.
Okay. All right. World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you again at 11. Have a good night.